All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, man, we have some breaking Jets news here. According to the NFL Network's Tom Pelissero, he's reporting that the Aaron Glenn New York Jets head coaching interview went really well. And obviously, Aaron Glenn has been connected to the Jets for months now. At this point in time, he is the favorite to land the Jets job. There are so many different dots that you can connect, whether it's the Parcells connection, whether it's Aaron Glenn playing for the Jets, whether it's the Tannenbaum connection, whether it's what the Jets, I would say, biggest weakness is: culture, leadership, accountability, just having an adult in the room. The Jets just clearly lack all of those things. And then you look at a guy in Aaron Glenn, and he's talked about as the exact opposite of that, right? He's someone that everyone loves, coaches and players, and former players. He's connected to all these great coaches, whether it's a Sean Payton, whether it's Bill Parcells, a Joe Brady, a Ben Johnson, a Dan Campbell, all of these different guys. And also has a lot of connections around the league as well, to potential former head coaches, Anthony Lynn, Dennis Allen, right? You feel pretty good about Aaron Glenn's ability to build a staff if, of course, he wants to go through that veteran or go down that veteran route. But Tom Pelissero says this exactly, right? Keep an eye on the Jets as a possibility for Aaron Glenn. He played for the team. My understanding is he had a really strong interview. Expect him to be in the mix, though worth noting that New York is still going through about 20 different interviews for that job. And this is also kind of one of the elephants in the room here. The Jets don't even have a general manager, which, I know some people really care about, some people don't really care at all. Personally, I want the Jets to hire a general manager first. I want the GM seat figured out. That way, when you have that number one candidate locked in-house, you now have another decision maker, another brain to the mix to go along with the Rick Spielman, to go along with the Tannenbaum, and obviously ownership, to go out and make that head coaching decision. Now, if Aaron Glenn smashed the interview, obviously, chances are he's probably going to be interviewing well with the Saints, with the Bears, with the Jaguars. Obviously no interest with the New England Patriots job. And I do know that there's some interest from the Raiders side of it as well. They've scheduled an interview. I'm not 100% sure if that interview has taken place. The Raiders have interviewed Ben Johnson. But, with this whole Aaron Glenn thing, it's, again, I feel like with every day that passes, there's more and more Jets fans hopping on board here. The one thing that I do feel like is relevant to talk about, though, it's the possibility of overkill with these interviews, right? You're looking at how the Raiders are doing things. You're looking at how, other teams are kind of going about this head coaching search. And then you have the Jets, which are, this is the team that's casting the widest net. This is the team that's interviewing. It feels like everyone under the sun. They're talking to older candidates. They're talking to former head coaches. They're talking to young guys, offensive guys, defensive guys, special teams guys. Former interim head coaches, right? Former coach Rex Ryan. You feel like it's pretty much just if you have any sort of qualification, the Jets will be talking to you. Now, I like that approach. I like that wide net, but I do believe it reaches the point of overkill where you're talking to candidates, you're interviewing them, they're going well, and you proceed to talk to more candidates. Now, I don't know exactly what's happening behind the scenes, but this would be my approach. Let's talk to as many people as we can that are, that we feel as though are realistic and qualified for the job. But if we fall in love with a candidate, right, we need to schedule that second interview very, very quickly. We need to, and this also, of course, you can make the same argument for general manager. That position I want to see secured pretty soon here. Head coach, it can linger on, but with general manager, let's go get our guy. It would be different if the Jets were the only team, but now the Raiders are searching, now the Titans are searching, and the Tennessee Titans, that's the team that I really feel like is the Jets' main rival in this whole GM search here. If you look at the names, there's some similarities between the two teams. I do not want to see the Jets in a position where they're talking to guys. And again, assuming that this is true here, right? The Aaron Glenn interview goes well. I don't want the Jets to say to Aaron, by the way, a hot commodity, Saints, Bears, all these teams have interest. Great. That interview went well. This is awesome. But we have our 9 other candidates that we need to talk to. See ya. We need to follow up. Again, if this went well, the Jets feel good about it. Glenn feels good about it. something needs to, there needs to be a sense of progression. Right now, obviously, general manager, how does this whole thing play into effect? They recently interviewed Lance Newmark, former Detroit Lions front office executive, spent 26 years with the Detroit Lions, so he knows Aaron Glenn very, very well. And now, obviously, he's the current assistant general manager with the Washington Commanders. There's also, I would take a guess and say that Newmark probably a fit over in Vegas as well if the Raiders want to pursue Ben Johnson after the latest GM firing, which again was Tom Telesco here. So interesting stuff here. Keep an eye on it. As Tom Pelissero said, we got to keep an eye on it. But Aaron Glenn, I felt like around last week he really became the favorite for this Jets job. And it's going to be interesting. Anyway, enjoy the playoffs. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, go Jets.